Now, there are many things in our lives that we feel define us: our families, our careers, the people we hang out with, and our friends. Yeah, those aren't always the same. Today, I want to talk to you about defining yourself. What is your definition of you?
Going through traumatic events are either going to give you strength to move you into that next level of your life or keep you stuck in the past. Welcome to this week's episode of the PTSD Growth Podcast. My goal is to give you the motivation to strengthen your life and guide you into that life that you're looking for. The pain that you feel can end and the life that you want can begin. You just have to take responsibility and take action.
Now, take a moment right now and think about that. If I were to ask you, how do you define your life? What would be the first thing to pop in your head? Would you say, well, and list off your profession? Would you say, I'm a dad or a mom? I'm a husband or a wife? Are you defined by your success or your failures? Or maybe you're defined by what you're currently diagnosed with: PTSD, bipolar, you have cancer. How would you define who you are? However you begin to define yourself is going to be how you're going to live your life. And today I want to explain what I mean by this and show you how you can change your definition in your life. When you have a clear definition of who you are, you'll begin to create a path or a plan for your life that will lead towards the person that you want to be. We all have someone in our life that we want to become or are striving to become. And how you define yourself on a daily basis is going to determine if you become that person. So, who is it that you want to become? Now, notice that I asked that in a future tense question. I haven't asked you who you are today or who you were yesterday. I spoke to a client once and they talked about being defined by their disorder. They felt that every day they were at a mental health meeting. Hi, my name is so-and-so and I have PTSD. If you were to say that day in and day out, whatever the definition for your life, every day you're going to wake up and be controlled by the disorder. How many times a day have you said, I can't do that because, and you list off the illness, the disorder, or a handicap that will limit your life? Walking around daily and saying that you have this or can't do a task or something fun because of this disorder you're living with, you are really limiting yourself. But you need to believe within yourself that if you begin to change the words that you're telling yourself, that you have the power to change the way you're living your life. Do you believe that the words have that kind of power over you? I personally do. I feel that if you tell yourself something, your mind is going to create what you've asked for. Here's an example. Think about a time that you didn't feel like going to work and you picked up the phone and decided to call in sick. Now, your body created that feeling of sickness. You started feeling stuffed up maybe. Maybe you were feeling a little nauseated. You have said this is what you feel, and then it has been created for you. So if you're constantly saying I can't because you have a disorder or illness or a handicap, well, then this is going to be true and you will never be able to move forward past that. Now think about what is causing you to feel this way. If you want to change the way your life is going, you have to change what you focus on daily. When you get up tomorrow morning, focus on things that you want to do in the future. What are the areas of your life that you want to change? And don't be specific with the diagnosis you have, that's too obvious. Do you want to change your health? The way you eat? Maybe add a workout routine, go for walks regularly? Do you want to work on a relationship? Maybe you're not in one, but you want to be. Or you're in an unhappy one and want out. Or you're in an unhappy one and you really want to make it work. What about your career? Do you want a promotion? Higher paying? What can you do to get that? Or maybe you hate your job and want something more meaningful in your life. What actions can you take to do that? Maybe spiritually. Is there something that you want to work on there? Building faith or more connection to the universe or whatever your belief is. You see, when I was talking about making all these forward-focused changes, I don't look into your disorder. They didn't even come up. You have it. And the people closest know you that you have a disorder. But others who don't know you don't need to know. Focus on the things in life that you're gonna go after. Those goals that you want to achieve in this life. Those fun things that you want to do. But when you're always seeing yourself as someone with a disability, then you're always going to be limited to who you are. So my big question is, what are you going to do next? Write it down. Go ahead, write it down. Then you'll be able to focus on that. Your mind will find different ways to make it happen because it's important enough to have you have written it down. This is what you should be focused on every day. The goals that you want to achieve. The things that you're wanting to do with your life. If you put yourself in a resourceful state, you'll be able to solve the problem in your life resourcefully. Don't get caught up with what you've been through. It's done. Yes, the pain that you've gone through has been tough. I'm not going to say it wasn't. We all go through times of pain. But there's no reason that pain needs to turn into suffering. Now it comes down to a decision. Are you going to continue down the same path that you have been going down? Or are you going to get up, take back control of your life, and live the way you want to? I can't make that decision for you. No one can. The decision comes from you alone. That is the only way it's going to stick. Now think about it. When your boss or employer tells you to do a task that you really don't want to do, you might complete it because if you don't, hey, you might get fired. But you really don't want to do it. You do it grudgingly and you're probably pissed off doing it, especially if it isn't in your job description. But when you're doing something that you want and are having fun, it doesn't even feel like work. Like when I work in my garage and I'm doing my woodworking, I love it. Building things and just spending time focusing on that. Or when I'm coaching a client. So you have to make the choices. And yes, it's going to be hard. And it's going to be hard to change too. You've been doing the I feel sorry for myself for so long that to get up, be confident, and change the whole thinking and the whole way your life is going is hard. The first few weeks of making change is going to be a challenge. And you might want to revert back. Please don't. Push through. After about a month, it gets easier. And now I know you might think, what, a month? I can never make it that far. And yeah, you can. You've been living your life this way for so long. I know you can do it. I believe in you. You are ready to define yourself. You can be and do anything you want. You can define yourself in any way that you want. So today, make a choice. Today, become who you have always wanted to be. Don't be defined by what you've been through. Be defined by the goals that you are setting in place. Be defined by the person that you create. Be defined by the uniqueness of you.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to this podcast and like this episode. But also, make sure that you share this. There are so many people in this world suffering when they don't have to. And you can change their life with just a click of a button. I thank you in advance. And always, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it.